interesting year, hasn't it, right? I think, the whole idea of planning for your year for a lot of people in some ways has been kind of shattered because of just 2020. And when you think about 2020, I remember, I was in the Philippines, and some of you may have heard of the volcano that went off around January 12th, January 13th, and I was speaking to about 500 leaders at a conference about 5 kilometers away from the volcano when the volcano went off, right? And they can't figure out, the guy who spoke before me, the earthquake happened, and then I lit the volcano, I guess is what they're saying with my talk. But I knew, like I don't know about you, but I've not experienced a volcano before. So, I kind of knew 2020 is a little weird, right? And then, of course, I was in Asia until basically the end of the month. End of January, so between Bangkok and Singapore and Manila and Hong Kong, and that's when, of course, COVID started to come, and I started thinking about the fact that this is going to be a weird year. But I got to tell you, folks, this has been, if I was to try to explain to you how many amazing things have happened in my life, in my wife's life, in our family, and in our businesses, you would not believe it. I almost feel guilty because working in the field of mental health, and as a leadership coach and as executive coach, every day I hear the stories of people who this situation has destroyed their lives. It's destroyed their businesses. It's shattered their families. It's led to terrible mental health outcomes. And for us, I'm not sure if it's just, like dumb luck. I'm for sure the dumb. I don't know about the luck, but there's not a lot of luck here. But I'm just thinking, I just can't believe it. In our businesses, in our finances, in our impact, and in our reach. And most of you know that I'm a Christian, and so for me, I live my life in complete gratitude to God. And if I was to sit down with you in detail and talk about it, you would be shocked. I mean, to open up a facility like this in the middle of a pandemic while everybody is shutting down, to be adding staff, to be building new companies, to be signing contracts with major corporations and major nonprofits. I mean, it's just an amazing thing. But I want to share with you a couple of things that I've learned along the way. And I hope that they'll speak to your heart today. I think the first one is this. How many of you would agree that if you're going to be successful and if you're going to accomplish anything within your life, you have got to get out of your own way, right? Now I'm going to introduce a concept for some of you that might sound a little foreign, but the only problem you really have is the story that you've been telling yourself, okay? So you don't have a COVID problem. You don't have a Jason Kenney problem. You don't even have a Justin Trudeau problem. You don't have an economic problem. You don't have a debt problem. You don't have a health problem. The biggest challenge you have is that you have been telling yourself a story for a long time. And that's why, even as I'm telling it right now, I can see in your eyes that some of you are like, no, he doesn't know my story. You're right, I don't. But I know the story of every single person. And that is that our brains tell us something about ourselves and about the world around us. And that story either reinforces our capacity to be successful or it completely destroys it. How many of you know what I'm talking about here tonight? And you have a choice. I remember when the lockdown happened, and I remember just like it was yesterday, and I was standing in the shower, I think it was like March the 11th, and my heart sank as I'm standing in the shower because I started thinking about myself, what am I going to do? I have all these financial obligations. I have people that are depending on me. My wife just launched her company. What am I going to do? And for about 4 minutes, I started to get a little depressed. And then I heard a voice. I'm telling you straight up, as I'm standing in the shower, I heard a voice, and the voice said, use the soap. No, I'm just joking. The voice didn't say that. The voice said, some of you are like, no, it's body wash, not soap, whatever. No, the voice actually said, I have given you a platform, and I have given you a voice, and why are you spending 1 second feeling sorry for yourself? That's literally what the voice said to me. The voice said, use your voice and use your platform to benefit others. And at that moment, literally that day, I picked up the phone, called Connie, we got some things going with Cynthia, with another guy and some other things, and we just started adding value to the community. And that one decision in the shower, when I listened to the voice, and by the way, I did use the soap because that's important too. But there was something that happened in my life because I got out of my own way. I mean, how many of you would agree that if I had stayed in that place of self-pity, if I had stayed at that moment in that place where all I was thinking about is, oh my God, what am I going to do? All these people I got to pay, all this stuff I got to take care of. How many of you think I would probably be in the shower right now still? Right? Because depression and discouragement and despair would have taken over. But because I decided to stop thinking about Abe and think about others, right? Because as discouraged as I was, I knew that there were more people out there who would be discouraged than me. As troubled as I was by a global lockdown and the fact that our daughter Jasmine couldn't even finish kindergarten because of this bizarre thing called COVID-19, I knew that there are people who needed something. And I got to tell you this, folks, you have value to offer the world. You have value to offer the world. And can I use an expression? We've got to stop telling ourselves this BS that we don't have anything to offer. The key to you unlocking your destiny is for you to help unlock the destiny of other people. Stop thinking about yourself. How many of you are with me tonight? Yeah. Come on now, how many of you are with me tonight? Right? I mean, it might be freezing out there, but it better not be freezing in here, okay? Right? I mean, you got to stop thinking just about yourself. You got to stop just thinking about your problems, your situation. And you got to realize that there's so much more. Can I just say one more thing? So we got to get out of our own head. But can I say this? We've got to get out of our fear. Now think about it for a moment. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. All of your hopes, all of your dreams, all of your aspirations. But inside you, for whatever reason, because I know, because it's inside me too, is that fear. Now courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is not being without fear. I'm not sure it's possible to be without fear. I think fear is actually healthy. When I'm afraid, I actually perform a little better. When I'm kind of nonchalant and when life is good and I'm just kind of coasting, how many of you agree? I am not going to hit my destiny. And so I'm thinking about you, and I'm thinking about 2021. And I'm thinking about all the incredible things you could accomplish. You have no idea where you could be 1 year from today if you decide that you're going to lean into your passions, that you're going to stop giving into your fear, that you're going to lean into your purpose, that you're going to stop giving into anxiety, that you're going to lean into adding value to the world, and you're going to stop giving in to that selfishness that's so prevalent. I mean, turn on CNN, turn on the media. I mean, there is so much fear out there. I'm not trying to minimize this pandemic, but how many lives have been shattered in 2020 that had nothing to do with COVID, but had everything to do with our fear-based response to COVID? I was listening to the news today, and the British Office of Statistics talked about the fact that cancer deaths in Britain are up 60% this year. All these unexplained deaths have nothing to do with COVID. They call them excess deaths. All the people who have untreated cancer, untreated diabetes, and untreated ulcers, and untreated, you fill in the blanks. Why? Because everybody's afraid to go to the hospital. And everyone's saying, don't go to the hospital. Because we have this idea that our hospital's overrun. And they're nowhere near overrun. But nobody looks at the facts. Nobody looks at the data. We listen to CNN as if somehow it's God's honest truth. Listen to me. When your business model is clicks in exchange for fear, you are never, ever properly motivated. So I know I'm being strong with you here tonight, but can I just encourage you, 2021, that's your year. I'm going to say it again because you need to get more excited than you just did. Honestly, I'm just being respectful, but I'm just saying, 2021 is your year, right? But you got to get out of your own way, right? You got to start to think, like, where am I in my own way? And then please, I beg you, get out of your fear. Lean into your purpose. Lean into your passion. Lean in to partnerships, the way we're talking about here today. There's an African proverb. I don't know. It might be Mexican. Don't you love it? It could be Chinese. I have no idea. It might even be Canadian. But it says something like this. It says, if you want to go, it's probably from Ecuador, right? It's Ecuadorian, right? It's an Ecuadorian proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, what does it say? Come on now, go. Come on now, go where? Go together. So I'm going to say that again. If you want to go fast, go alone. Right? If you want to go far, go together. And you know what? Honestly, you guys are amazing. And if you want a healthy, wealthy, and wise mask, you can grab one.